Welcome to another one of the Just Ask series brought to you by the Eagle Heart Foundation. So here we promote cross-cultural communication to learn from each other and to encourage community. So over the past decade, we have moved into a culture of having conversations that we haven't had before. Hence, this may be the first time that the person who's being interviewed is asked a question that they've never been asked. Hence, their understanding and answer may be in the early stages of development and will need to gain and grow, and we'll have them back on the show at a later time. And so we come together with honor and respect, and also with curiosity to begin to ask those deeper questions. So the interviewers that are being interviewed do not speak on behalf of the community or population that they identify with. They are speaking on their own individual lived experience. So with that, let's sit back and get to know each other.
So we talked about in the last video how you identify as Navajo. And with that, being that you are interracial, you are half Navajo, half Dutch, how do you prefer people to refer to you? Do you prefer Indigenous? Do you prefer Native? Do you prefer First Nations? There's been a lot of discussions about that in a lot of different cultures, and I'd really like to see what you feel like on an individual level for yourself.
Perfect. So it is an individual level. I do not, this is the funny part. This is a question that I have not been asked except for within the last couple of years, quite frankly. So even though I'm, Gen X, I haven't developed a solid answer. So I will just answer as where I stand now in my own lived experience. When I was little, I didn't mind being referred to as an Indian. That was a very common term back in the 70s and the 80s. But now, as I learned more about my own father, who is full-blood Navajo, again, English is his second language. Moreover, he's 90 years old, which means that he was young when the people came in and they took him from the Hogan and they cut his hair, they put him into boarding school, and he was denied his own language. So that's how close I am to that happening. And I remember as an adult speaking with my father, he said that after he learned to speak and read the English language, he still didn't understand the English language. And so it takes a lot of time. And then one day he was learning from the white man or the white woman, the white instructor, about these people called Indians. And they explained to the classroom in the boarding school, Indians are savages. They are like animals. They are very, they're heathen. They run around half naked. They believe in false gods, and they're savages. So my dad took this information and went out to the playground with his little buddy, and he was scared. And he was like, I don't want to meet one of those Indians. Where are they? Are they going to come and get us? And his friend looked at my dad and said, no, they were calling us Indian. So with that, I started shunning that word because of the negative connotation that it gives. But I have the lived experience of having that happen to my own father, and me as a daughter wanting to hurt somebody over that, And so that's my dad's story. So again, this is this is like, maybe it's been a year or two since I've actually been asked that question. Like, do you want to be referred to as Indigenous? I'm like, well, I am Indigenous, so I guess that works. It's not insulting. I'm used to Native American. Um, I really enjoy First Nation because who doesn't want to be first, but let's all share. So I pretty much, I love, but the word Indian is a trigger, but it's deep enough within my culture that I might even slip up and call myself an Indian, because that's a Gen X thing. I have been living most of my life being referred to as that. So I'm going to slip and say that. But when my consciousness kicks in and my awareness kicks in, I'm like, that's not what I wanted. So I'm reframing myself as well as the world is framing itself on how to refer to us. So
In a larger sense, speaking on an individual level, but also speaking just not necessarily on behalf of anyone, but just your take on the importance of people choosing how they want to be referred to within that, and the importance of not only them choosing what label they want to be called, but people respecting that. What's your take on the importance of that?
oh, that's huge, because at least in America, our culture for many, many a year has been hooked into identification equals label and or title. And so that holds some sort of a hierarchy. And so, with the label and the title, but at the end of the day, we're just people. So if we get comfortable and fall into something that we can identify with, that's a little bit more like with less negative connotation to it and maybe more prestige, that really kind of helps us to look beyond the title and start looking into the person.
I think this is a good stopping place, and we will see everyone in the next video.
Awesome. So thank you. If you do enjoy this and want to learn more about Just Ask series, like and subscribe.